The dawn of a new season brings the dawn of a new era for this franchise. There's a new coach in charge, tasked with guiding this team to the peak of the NFL. For someone with dreams of reaching Canton, this first day and their first interview will set the stage for a career to come.
It's one of the NFL's newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we're treated to an entertaining preseason contest between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. So they are indeed kings in the north as the Vikings win it at home. And they're off to a good start in the preseason, Brock. Seen a lot of players fighting together for the victory. With Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities.
Today, it's a preseason matchup, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
Than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural,
yeah,
but
yeah, but I like where we're going with this. You say one to represent,
yeah.
like the.
Just across the Cumberland River from those neon lights of Broadway, we welcome you inside Nissan Stadium here in Nashville. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. It is a win for our visitors, the Vikings. Finish off the preseason unbeaten, and they are ready for the regular season, which will kick off in 2 weeks' time. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. From Nashville, we say good night, everybody.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Tonight's the night for football, everybody. The bright lights are on, the stage is set, and the crowd is ready. It's Monday Night Prime Time on EA Sports. As the work week kicks off tonight, another week of football comes to an end with a Monday Night Prime Time contest between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. On the visiting sideline, look at the head coach of the Vikings. These guys just about set to go in this one. And on the other side, a first-year coach a lot of people are excited about in Chicago. That's Ben Johnson. The Vikings pick up the win on the road. And this isn't just any 1-0 start for them. They pick up what could end up being a key division victory to have later in this season. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Vikings emerge as winners as we say so long from Chicago.
The new season starts now. I'm Scott Hansen, and you are tuned in to the brand new EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 1. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And it's the man who missed last year but is back now, J.J. McCarthy. He's going to find a man. It's an 11-yard touchdown pass. The Vikings come away with the victory. It's win 1 in game 1 for J.J. McCarthy. Next up, a couple of teams that have had some tremendous battles in recent years. Ravens-Bills in Orchard Park. And here it's Josh Allen surveying and finding Khalil Shakir. 16 yards on the touchdown pass. The Bills get the win in the opener. Could this finally be their year? They'll start 1-0. Lastly, we go up to Lambeau Field. It's the Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. And this is the former USC Trojan, Marshawn Lloyd. He's going to take this one in, 11 yards on the touchdown run. The Packers wind up winning this one in front of the home crowd to begin the new season. That's a wrap. Until next time, I'm Scott Hansen.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
His team fell in their season opener a week ago, now hitting the road, looking for their first win. Across from him, his counterpart from the Vikings.
Gain of 4 yards. And the Vikings first down.
Let's go.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And this is a touchdown. They were not going to be denied. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute of play. They'll throw on first down with Penix. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be incomplete, so no help there. And we're likely down to a final snap.
Harrison Smith.
2nd and 10. Here we go. One final play. And that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Josh Metellus. So a win here for the Vikings. What a finish to this one. The defense comes up with the interception in clutch time to seal it on the final play, and the defense walks off the field with the victory for their team. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings, as we say so long from Minneapolis.
A great 1-2 to start the year. Hi everyone, Scott Hanson, and this is your Week 2 edition of the EA Sports Weekly Recap. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And this is the former Packers star, Aaron Jones. He's toting the rock, has some open field, and he has a touchdown. 35 yards on the score. The Vikings are off to a good start, 2-0 on the young season. Got another one to get to right now. How about Gang Green? The Jets, they're playing host to the Buffalo Bills. And it's Khalil Shakir, one of his 2 touchdown catches in the game coming right here. The Bills get a 2nd straight win to start the year as they get the tough road victory. Lastly, let's get down to Miami, the Dolphins hosting the New England Patriots. And this is Nick Westbrook-Akine. This will help the old stat line. He's going to make the catch and realize, I don't think anyone's going to get me, and they don't. It's a catch and run of 86 yards. Touchdown. The Dolphins find a way to pull this one out as they escape with the narrow win. That'll do it for us. Until next week, Scott Hanson.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Midwest. The echoes of the Gallahorn and the Skull Chant reverberate inside U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. On the visitor's sideline, there's the Bengals head coach, Zach Taylor. His guys at 2-0 to begin 2025. Across from him, his counterpart from the Vikings. His guys also 2-0, so this ain't good. So a win here for the Vikings. They continue their winning ways in the month of September. They're off to a 3-0 start. And that'll do it For my partner, Greg Olson, for our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings, as we say, so long from Minneapolis.
Fall is in the air and not a moment too soon. I'm Scott Hansen, and this is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 3. We start with a good matchup here, AFC versus NFC. And it's the All-Pro wideout, Justin Jefferson. He was a tough man to pin down all game long. This, one of his 2 touchdown catches. The Vikings are off to a 3-0 start as they get the victory. Next up, it's Santa Clara, California. Let's look in on the Niners as they play host to the Arizona Cardinals. And it's Brock Purdy hooking up with his man for the touchdown here, one of 3 touchdown passes for him in the ballgame. The 49ers get the victory in the battle of unbeatens. Lastly, let's go to MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. And oh, look at Patrick Mahomes. This, one of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the night. The Chiefs are back in the win column. They move to 2-1 with a Week 3 victory. That's a wrap. Until next time, I'm Scott Hansen. Good night from all of us at EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us across the Atlantic and along the River Liffey in the wonderful city of Dublin, Ireland. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. He's got his guys in midseason form already, an impressive 3-0 start to the year. On the other side, Steeler head coach Mike Tomlin. His guys... Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the center of the field, this to win the ball game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for Minnesota, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now they'll face the prospect of a long, albeit happy flight across the Atlantic.
1 month down, and what a month it was. I'm Scott Hansen. Here's your Week 4 edition of the EA Sports Weekly Recap. We start out in Dublin, the first ever regular season game on Irish soil, the old sod, as they call it, the Vikings taking on the Steelers. And it's the man who missed last year but is back now, J.J. McCarthy. And this is a touchdown. From there, it's off to Tampa. Let's look in on the Buccaneers. They're hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's last year's Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. He's going to take this one in, 7 yards on the rushing touchdown. The Eagles are now 4-0. What a first month as they continue to roll. One more to bring you. Let's go to Arlington. The Cowboys taking on the Packers. And it's Jordan Love on target to Christian Watson. 36 yards for the touchdown. The Packers bounce back from the loss in Week 3. They move to 3-1 with the W. So that'll put a bow on this one for all the hardworking men and women here in Orlando.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
Across from him, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. His guys, the desert.
The final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Vikings, their strong September has carried over to October.
Nothing like October football. Welcome in, everyone. This is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 6. I'm Scott Hansen. Plenty to get to. Let's start in Baltimore. The Ravens at home to take on the Los Angeles Rams. And here comes Derrick Henry. He's going to find a crease and take it 13 yards to the end zone. The Ravens improved to 4-2 on the year with another win. From there, it's off to Tampa. Let's look in on the Buccaneers as they play host to the San Francisco 49ers. And this is Brandon Ayuk, playing like street football. Everyone go deep, and this time it works. This is going to wind up as an 85-yard catch and run for the touchdown. The Niners are playing well. They improved to 5-1 with this victory. One more to bring you now. Let's go to Vegas, shall we? The Raiders taking on the Tennessee Titans. And it's the rookie, the #1 pick in the draft, Cam Ward. Hey, this NFL thing is not so difficult, apparently. One of 3 touchdown passes for him in the ball game. Until next week, Scott Hansen, good night from Orlando.
They've been dealt one of their toughest matchups early in the season, but there is hope. One of their coaches has found what they think is a key weakness. The decision now, how exactly to exploit it.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Midwest. The echoes of the Gallahorn and the Skull chant reverberate inside U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Coming up, 2 teams ready to square off. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. On the Philly sideline, there's head coach Nick Sirianni. His team sitting pretty 5-1 in the early going. Across from him, his counterpart from the Vikings. His guys late, they've got to go here. It's 4th down.
A 9-yard gain on the play.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And this will be his NFL career. On 2nd down, here's McCarthy. Open man downfield, it's Addison. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 84 yards. Touchdown, Minnesota. They continue to be the hottest team in the NFL here in the first couple of months of the season as they remain unbeaten. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings, as we say so long from Minneapolis.
Artistry on display. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Hansen. This is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 7. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And this is J.J. McCarthy. This is going to end up a touchdown. The Vikings walk it off. They win in overtime. Why don't we move on now and check in on another big mid-season matchup. And it's the rookie, Travion Henderson. A scintillating run for the touchdown. The Patriots up their record to 5-2 as they get the victory here. Lastly, let's go out to Arrowhead. The Chiefs taking on the Raiders. And this is Patrick Mahomes going Hollywood to Hollywood Brown. Middle of the end zone, touchdown. The Chiefs win their second straight as they get the victory here. That'll do it for us. Until next week, Scott Hansen in Orlando, good night from all of us at EA Sports.
Welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Tonight we begin Week 8, a good matchup for you here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the LA Chargers. On the visitor's sideline, their head coach. His guys still unblemished to start the year a perfect 6-0 heading into this one. Across from him, Charger head coach Jim Harbaugh. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to sit. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for the Vikings, they're winning.
2 months in, and the NFL is as unpredictable as ever. Hi, everyone. Scott Hansen in Orlando. This is your weekly recap for Week 8. We begin with a good interconference matchup. And it's the former Michigan man, J.J. McCarthy. He gets this one complete, 6-yard touchdown pass. The Vikings improve their mark to 7-0 as they get the win. From there, why don't we go out to the space city of Houston, looking in on the Texans as they play host to the San Francisco 49ers. And here is Nick Chubb. He's a weapon in the run game. He's a weapon in the passing game. Look at him go. This is going to wind up as an 85-yard catch and run for the touchdown. One more for you. Let's go to Cincinnati. The Bengals taking on the Jets. And it's the fourth-year running back, Breece Hall. He's looking for an opening, gonna find it, a 17-yard touchdown on the ground. The Jets get back to 500. They move to 4-4 with this victory. Until next week, Scott Hanson, good night from Oregon.
Film rooms are the forum where strategies are discussed and victories are born. Each person there has a voice and a chance to step forward with what they believe is the key to this week's game. The regular season has reached its halfway point, and as the team looks ahead to the rest of the year, it's time to check in with players and set the goals that will drive them the rest of their season.
City to Lions fans, this is home. Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. On the visiting sideline, there is the Vikings head coach. His team coming off a shutout victory last time out. Across the field, it is Lions head coach Dan Campbell. So it is a win for our visitors, the Vikings. They get the victory away from home in the division. Those are so valuable. and they'll get another shot in their place next time later in the season. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.
Halfway home. Hi everyone, Scott Hansen here, and this is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for week number 9. We start with a good matchup in the NFC, and this is Jordan Mason. Next up, we go to Big D, specifically Arlington, Texas. Check in on the Cowboys as they play host to the Arizona Cardinals. And this is Jalen Tolbert. He's going to look in the catch and then look upfield and watch this. This will be a 70-yard touchdown catch. The Cowboys finish off the first half of the season with a victory to move them to 5-4 on the season. Lastly, let's get down to Miami, the Dolphins taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And this is Nick Westbrook-Akine. He's going to find a seam in the middle of the field and haul it in. 56 yards, touchdown. The Dolphins close out the first half of the season with a victory as they move to 6-3 on the year. That's a wrap.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the North Star State, where the sounds of the Yaller horn and the Skol chant echo throughout U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Today we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. His guys, losers a week ago, trying to turn things around here. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready for what could be a tough one. And well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Minnesota, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles.
Film rooms are the forum where strategies are discussed and victories are born. Each person there has a voice and a chance to step forward with what they believe is the key to this week's game.
here in the north, this is the land of Vikings. And with the Yaller horn bellowing throughout U.S. Bank Stadium, a Nordic nation of 70,000 strong rises up with a cry of Skol to usher two teams into battle. Coming up, we have a good one for you. Between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. There on the visiting sideline, head coach of the Bears, Ben Johnson. These guys fighting through a miserable stretch of games, just one win in their last 8. Running the show across the field, that's the head coach of the Vikings. These guys ready as they always are to play in front of this home crowd, hoping the extra surge of momentum pays off in a win. Setting up to pass. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. This is inside the 15. And he's going to be hauled down at the 2. That sets up first and goal. Vikings out of the hurry-up. Need everyone back to the line.
And the Vikings first down. First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Back to throw. Thinking touchdown here, but they cannot connect. So that's going to send them back to the line for second and goal.
Incomplete. Brings up second and goal.
Here he is to throw. And this is incomplete. Could have been a touchdown, but all it is now is a third down.
Incomplete. It's now third and goal.
Throwing now. And it's incomplete on third and goal. So a bit stubborn there, Brock. They just kept throwing for it after pass fell incomplete. Now they've got fourth and goal.
Yeah, and you and I both know what's going to happen. When these old linemen run off the sidelines, big fellas, they're not going to be too happy about not putting one run on the board.
No, sir. So the Bears take this one on the road. Man, they were facing a top 5 defense this week, Brock, but they made them look anything but. What a great performance to get this win.
Yeah, you could come in, Kate, with this awe and mystique of, gosh, we're facing one of the best defenses in the league, but as soon as you get those first points, you realize, you know what? They're mortal just like the rest of us, and they took the fight right to them.
That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Bears winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.
The playoff race is taking shape. I'm Scott Hanson. You're tuned in to the EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 11. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And this one, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. He's going to fight his way into the end zone from a yard out. From there, how about we head out to Buffalo? Let's check in on the Bills as they play host to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's last year's most valuable player, Josh Allen. He connects. It's a 16-yard touchdown. The Bills win their 4th straight as they get the victory here. Got one more to show you right now. Let's go to Foxborough. It's the Patriots taking on the Jets. And it's the rookie, Trevion Henderson. He's going to get in from 6 yards out. The Pats run their mark to 8-3 as they come away with the victory. So that put a bow on this one. For all the hardworking men and women here in Orlando, Scott Hanson.
The address is 1265 Lombardi Avenue. The place is known as Titletown. Welcome inside legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, 2 teams ready to square up. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. On the visiting sideline, there is the Vikings head coach. These guys know now it's not going to be a perfect season. They suffered their first loss of the year a week ago. His counterpart on the Packers side, it's a win for the Packers. They get the home victory here in the division in the first of their 2 scheduled matchups. A chance to go for the season sweep on the road later in the season. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg.
2/3 of the season has come and gone. I'm Scott Hanson, and your weekly recap for week number 12 is up now. We start with a good matchup in the NFC, and it's Jordan Love. A 4-yard touchdown pass in the box score. The Packers are going to wind up winning by 17. From there, Kansas City, here we come. Let's check in on the Chiefs as they host the Indianapolis Colts. And this is Rashee Rice. He was a tough man to pin down all game long. This, one of his 2 touchdown catches. The Chiefs up their mark to 7-4 with this win. One last one to show you, and it's in Detroit. It's the Lions hosting the New York Giants. And here, it's the Giants' defense making a statement. They force the interception. They've got room. They're taking it all the way. Pick 6 for the touchdown. The Giants find a way to pull this one out as they escape with the narrow win. And that's a wrap for this week. For all the hardworking men and women in the studio, Scott Hanson saying goodnight.
It's known as one of the loudest stadiums in sports for a reason, and it'll only get louder as the collective 12th man starts cheering for their Seahawks. Welcome to Lumen Field in Seattle. Today, the John Madden Thanksgiving celebration continues, and we've got a great one for you. Between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. Visiting sideline, look at the head coach of the Vikings. These guys trying to get back to winning football. They've dropped their last 2. On the opposite side, that's Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald. These guys mired in a losing streak, hoping a trip home is going to help them snap out of it. The Vikings pick up the win on the road. And we know how rain can wreak havoc at any moment on a football field, but they didn't let that stop them today. They played their game, and as a result, they're leaving here with a victory. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Vikings emerge as winners as we say so long from Seattle.
Separation Sunday. I'm Scott Hanson. You're tuned in to the EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 13. We start with a good matchup in the NFC, and it's the veteran TJ Hawkinson. He was wreaking havoc on the secondary all game long. This, one of his 2 touchdown grabs on the afternoon. The Vikings come away with a 4-point victory. From there, let's get you to another interesting matchup. And it's the second-year tight end, Theo Johnson. He's going to find an opening down the field and pull this one in. A 55-yard touchdown. The Giants win their 3rd straight game as they get the victory today. One more to bring you up. Let's go to Arlington. The Cowboys hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's a guy who played his prep ball 20 minutes from here, Rashee Rice. And this is a touchdown. The Chiefs are in a good spot here, 2/3 of the way through the season. They stand 8-4 with this victory. Until next week, Scott Hanson, good night from Orlando.
Here in the north, this is the land of Vikings, and with the Yallar horn bellowing throughout U.S. Bank Stadium, a A Nordic nation of 70,000 strong rises up with a cry of Skål to usher two teams into battle. Coming up, a highly anticipated contest between the Washington Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings. Leading the Washington sideline, that's head coach Dan Quinn. These guys are only 2-4 over the last 6 weeks. Running the show across the field, that's the head coach of the Vikings. These guys more than motivated for this contest, ready to take the field here at home. So they are indeed kings in the north as the Vikings win it at home. Well, Brock, we both thought coming into this one that it was going to be a tough hill to climb going up against one of the better defenses in the NFL. But these guys looked and said, hill? What hill?
And you know what? I think that happened over the course of this week. Sometimes when you know what you're facing, Kate, and you're watching tape and it's a really good defense, you know you got to be on your game. And this offense certainly was today.
So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner, Brock Heward, and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you fair.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen here, and this is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 14. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And this is Jordan Mason. He'll power it in from 1 yard out. The Vikings win their second straight as they get the victory here. From there, how about we head out to Buffalo? Let's check in on the Bills as they host the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's Khalil Shakir. He was absolutely electric. This one of 3 touchdown grabs for him in the game. The Bills have little problem here. They run away with a dominant win. Lastly, let's go out to Arrowhead. The Chiefs taking on the Houston Texans. And it's the third-year signal caller from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud. 12 yards on the touchdown. The Texans continue their winning ways. They move to 9-4 with the victory here. That's a wrap. Until next time, I'm Scott Hansen. Good night from all of us at EA Sports.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
20 miles west of downtown Dallas. One of the league's grand settings, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Tonight on Sunday Night Primetime, it's the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. The final 4 weeks of the NFL regular season is upon us. Welcome to the home stretch. Welcome to the booth. Mike Tirico with Greg Olson. Partner, it's week 15. Just feels like a horse race. We're at the top of the stretch. Now it's the sprint for home.
And up until this point, Mike, every team's goal is...
It is a win for our visitors, the Vikings. And it is their third consecutive victory. They continue to play great football here in this latest stretch. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Arlington.
We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Giants. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. These guys are playing extremely well, 8-2 over their last 10. On the other side, Giants head coach Brian Daboll. His guys ready to feed off the energy in this building as they try to win one in front of the home crowd. certainly not the highest of scoring games, Charles. Their offense did some okay things, not a lot of points on the board, but enough for the win with how their defense was playing in this way.
Yeah, they certainly brought their A-game, didn't they? They weren't fooled by anything that was presented to them from start to finish. That defense, they might as well have told their offense, guys, just kick a field goal. We've got it today.
So for the Giants, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will hit the road next week.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen here, and this is your weekly recap for Week 16. We start with a good matchup in the NFC, and it's the second-year running back, Tyrone Tracy. Just give him a little bit of space, and he can do the rest. 19 yards on the touchdown. From there, we check out another big late-season game, playoff implications here. And it's Antonio Gibson. He'll find an opening and take it in, a 6-yard rushing touchdown. The Patriots had to work for it, but they win it by a field goal. One last one to show you, and it's in Detroit. It's the Lions hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is Aaron Rodgers on target to his trusty tight end, Jonnu Smith, in the end zone for the score. The Steelers win their 4th straight as they get the victory here. So that'll do it for us as we look forward to what should be a fantastic final 2 weeks of the regular season.
Play. Through the tension and pressure, Will Reichert out to kick. This only a chip shot from the right half. So it's a win for the Vikings. And they were the top-ranked team in action in this wild card round, Brock. So this was always the expectation that they'd advance through to the divisional round. And next week, they're going to be right back here playing for a spot in that conference championship. With Brock Ewart and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.
We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And it's the former Michigan man, J.J. McCarthy. Touchdown from 20 yards away. The Vikings take care of business. The number 2 seed will get another home game in the divisional round. From there, another big game here in the NFC playoffs. And this is the Green Bay defense coming up with a play. They force the interception. They've got room. They're taking it all the way. Pick 6 for the touchdown. The Packers get it done in dominant fashion. They cruise into the divisional round next weekend. One more to show you real quick. We go to Houston. It's the Texans hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is Jaylen Warren. He's a weapon in the run game. He's a weapon in the passing game. Look at him go. And that's a 61-yard touchdown grab. The Steelers pull off the big upset. The wild card knocks off the division champ. They're moving on to the divisional round. One round is complete. We're down to 8 teams remaining with a chance to lift the...
Now from downtown Minneapolis, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us inside beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium, the home of the Vikings. This evening, the capper to this divisional round. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. So a win here for the Vikings. They will continue on in these playoffs. They're now one step away from a Super Bowl appearance. They'll have a tough one coming up next Sunday in the conference championship game. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings, as we say so long from Minneapolis.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen with you, and this is the EA Sports Weekly Recap. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And this is J.J. McCarthy. He'll connect on a 13-yard touchdown pass. The Vikings are on to the NFC Championship game. They get it done here in the divisional round. Up next, a massive game here in the AFC playoffs. And this is Josh Palmer. He's so good working down the field, hauls this one in stride. It's a 48-yard touchdown. The Bills pull off yet another upset. They are now just one win away from the Super Bowl. Got one more to show you right now. Let's go to Foxborough. It's the Patriots hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's Aaron Rodgers looking good. He'll locate Calvin Austin. 19 yards for the touchdown. The Steelers are moving on. They'll play again next week for the AFC title. And with that, the divisional round is complete. We're down to 4. Next Sunday night, we will know the Super Bowl matchup.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we're on the road to the Super Bowl. Up next, it's our main event between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello to everyone watching. Joined by Brock Heward up here in the booth, I'm Kate Scott. And in a while, we're going to find out the answer to a question that fans have been asking for nearly half a year at this point. Who is going to represent this conference in the Super Bowl?
All of these coaches and players preach all season long, never look ahead. You can't do it, right? You've got to focus so much on the present. But you know that every man out there is so aware of what's on the line today and where they could be playing in 2 weeks. It's going to be a game-long challenge, no question, to keep the focus on the right here.
Defense to the line for first down, conscious of that single timeout they've got remaining.
At the 18-yard line.
Setting up to pass. Escapes the pocket. And he will score and give him the lead in the final minute. Absolutely clutch score there, Brock, as they take the lead here in the final minute.
Incredible execution. The moment not too big for any of them. And Kate, they cashed in when it really mattered.
First and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Dumps it off to his running back. And this one doesn't go far. Offense at the line, but they won't snap it. We've got a timeout. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Goff. Finds Montgomery on the drop down. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Officials signaling timeouts. We've got whistles. Time left for one snap. And while we all know the odds are low, it's not impossible that they find a way to score. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And that's going to make it just about worst-case scenario for this offense, Brock. It is 4th and long. So it's a win for the Vikings. They are your NFC champions, Brock. What a mix of emotions out there right now, right? Happiness to have made it, but also remembering this isn't the ultimate prize. There's a far more important game still to come.
Yeah, and I think maybe they think about that tomorrow. Kind of like these baseball teams do such a great job, Kate, of celebrating every series win.
Yeah.
You're going to celebrate this, and these guys are going to enjoy the heck out of it with their families and friends, and then they'll wake up tomorrow, and they'll remember there's still a lot of work ahead for the biggest trophy of all.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen with you, and this is the EA Sports Weekly Recap. We start with a good matchup in the NFC. And it's the first-round draft pick, J.J. McCarthy. One of his 3 touchdown passes in the ballgame, he also added a rushing touchdown for good measure. The Vikings take care of business, and they will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Up next, another intriguing matchup. And this is Elijah Moore. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. Make it a 70-yard touchdown grab. The Bills do it again. In an unlikely path to the Super Bowl, they found their way as champions of the AFC.
The top prize in the NFL is the Lombardi Trophy, but some individual hardware is pretty nice to end a season with too. Today, one of their players has a reason to celebrate.
the following presentation of the National Football League.
After a long two-week build-up here in the Bay Area, the moment has finally arrived. It is time for football here at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Folks, this is Super Bowl 60, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gunn along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys are now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get rid of. Boyd, now a critical third down here. And he's going to go down. He backed up. And they'll indeed take a knee. And these Bills make the 90s seem like a distant memory. Buffalo is the Super Bowl champion. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen with you, and this is the EA Sports Weekly Recap. We begin with a good interconference matchup. And it's Josh Allen. He went for over 300 yards along with this, one of his 4 touchdown passes. The Bills get it done. Congratulations to them. They are your Super Bowl champions.